what is up? Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, it's kind of a surprise. I told you guys I wanted, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you guys would already know that I've been wanting to go right-hand drive for a long time. And if you've been watching the channel as of the last couple months, I told you that my goal for 2019 was to go right-hand drive. And you know what? I did not think it would happen this quickly, but it's happening. I am doing pretty much all the work myself. I've been studying every single video on YouTube. There's no full videos, so I am intending to make a series of everything I have to do. I'm going to cut out some stuff like getting the motor out and stuff. I'll film a little bit of it, but I'm not going to go into detail because if you can't take your interior apart, you can't take your motor out. This is not in your skill level by any means. So, before anybody starts throwing comments out there of, what do you want to go right-hand drive? Plain and simple, I'm left-handed. It's convenient for me. Yes, I've driven left or right-hand drive before. I've driven right-hand drive Integras, Civics. I've driven Skyline. I've had the experience. I personally like it. For you safety nerds, the firewall is going to be much more stronger. Structural integrity is going to be much better if done correctly, like I intend to do it. And as for left-hand turns, drive-throughs, blah, 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 this is not a daily driven car. This is a weekend and a backroad warrior. So with all that out of the way, if I'm talking fast or I look a little irritated, I am very stressed and I just sat in line at Harbor Freight forever to get the stupid crap that I needed. So I am literally going to hop right into this. I'm going to start off with pulling the car out. Essentially what I have to do is I have to take the hood off, the fenders off. I'm going to just take the whole front half of the car off. I have to take the doors off. I have to remove the windshield. I have to remove the dashboard, my shifter box, my seat, my carpet, everything under the dash. So that's a lot of work as is. And if that isn't enough, I've also got roughly 170 spot welds to drill out on just this left-hand drive clip or car right now. When I go to pick up my right-hand drive clip from HMO, I'm waiting for Steve, the owner of HMO, to call me back on it if it's a manual or if it's an auto chassis. I'm really hoping it's a manual because that would make my life so much easier, because obviously the pedal assembly is going to have to be modified if it's not, and the wiring harness will have to be modified a little bit more if it is not. It is a 4-door DA9 front clip for those of you wondering, and as for you guys asking price, I am paying $499 for it. That comes with everything needed for the right-hand drive conversion. It just does not come with hood, one-piece headlights, or fenders. But I'm going to be switching back and forth between my GoPro so you can get some point of view, so I don't have to sit there and set up cameras and time lapses, and some shots of this. Yes, it is. I just got home. I'm sorry for rushing through all this. I just got home. It is currently just after 6 on a Friday. I think today is February 10th, 2019. So I am hoping that by come Monday morning, I will be able to almost have this firewall ready to come out. I have to weld some supports in. I have to bolt up a strut brace and stuff, so that way after the firewall is out, the car does not shift at all. And I'm going to leave like basically a spot weld or two in each corner, so that way I can swap the firewalls over in the same couple hours, like within the same hour, so that way I can get the other firewall out on the right-hand drive and then come over here, get this thing out, and then just swap them right over, so I don't have to worry about any sagging, any warping of my frame, my floor, whatever. I'm going to try and do this as safely and as much or as well done as I can understand. I've gone through every forum. I've watched Vasile's videos. I've watched Young Static's videos, and I'm ready. All that talking aside, welcome to the video. Let's get started. Let's just...
Where do you want to go?
Honestly, for now, let's just undo this. That's with the car off the ground on the stands now. I'm gonna start draining the fluid and I'm gonna start taking the interior apart. So it is getting dark out, so I do apologize if the video comes out grainy and whatnot. I'll try and fix that in post-production, but I just want to be able to, like I said, film as much of this as I can. I'm about 2 hours in. I got the front suspension completely disassembled, ready to drop the subframe once I disconnect it here from the steering rack, or I'm sorry, the steering column. I'm gonna drop that in the morning though, because it is kind of heavy. I'm by myself and it is getting pretty cold out. So I'm going to hop in the car here and I'm gonna start taking the dash out. Unfortunately, it is pretty dark. There's not really any room for the camera, so I wanted to film it, but it's just gonna be a pain in the butt tonight. So yeah, I'll get that out. Mine's pretty much halfway disassembled underneath anyway, so mine is not entirely the same as a stock car. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on getting all this stuff out, and I will just catch up with you guys first thing in the morning.
Many months later.
Brought us into the morning now. It is roughly, I don't know, close to 8. I was out here till almost midnight working, so interior, engine, like I said, I stopped and I was working on the interior because it got cold. This is where we are. Got pretty much all the harness disconnected. I just got to disconnect that harness coming over to this side from the fuse box, pull this stuff out. I have to disconnect the pedal assembly, and that's pretty much it for over here, and then pull out my shifter, and then after that it's pull the motor, which, like I said, I'm gonna finish pulling the engine harness off of it right now. It'll only take me a couple of minutes, and then just really disconnect the shifter cables, my fuel line. My hose is already disconnected, so that's pretty much that. I mean, yeah. Oh, header, my exhaust. So yeah, I gotta drop my exhaust anyway. So yeah, shifter cables, exhaust, fuel line, and then pull the motor. Shoot, I'm gonna definitely have to use the engine hoist. So I thought about maybe trying to drop it out underneath, but I don't feel like fighting with that today. Yeah, so I'm gonna get this engine harness off first things first. So I haven't been filming too much. I just been busting out. Motor's ready to come out. It's just floating here. Just gotta hook the hoist up, undo the mounts. As for the fuel lines, the feed line, the vapor line, and the return line, I'm just going to pull those through the firewall and bungee cord them out of the way, and then all I have to do is drop the rear subframe, disconnect the master cylinder, pull the brakes, the pedal assembly off from inside the firewall, and pull off my little firewall plugs here, so I can reuse them on the new fire. Actually, no, I'll just leave those there for now. But yeah, then it's just a matter of finding all the spot welds. I don't really know exactly. I know finding them inside isn't the issue. Finding them, I know this is the seam seal here, so I just kind of follow it up. So I'm pretty sure this chunk right here is firewall, obviously on both sides. But my concern is like where I need to go, like if I have to take this off or not. So I'm gonna have to try and do a little bit more research and try and figure this out. But yeah, let's just, I guess, take this one step at a time and get the motor out. Alright, so got the K20 sitting over there. Right now I'm just kind of, I've been eyeballing this back and forth, trying to figure out if I have to take this whole outside frame rail section off to get to the few spot welds here, because I know this is all firewall section right here from this seam sealer line back. So I don't know, I'll just really have to pay attention and hope for the best, because there's literally not a single write-up on a DA online for this, so I'm pretty much pioneering this. I mean, obviously people have done it before me, but as for YouTube, I am trying to pioneer this. I just disconnected my brake lines from my firewall, from my banjo fittings or whatever over there, and from the master, so I'm just getting the master off right now. We got the plugs. So I will be reusing this. I mean, it's still pretty much brand new anyway, so, but my seal is in there on my pin, so I gotta grab that quick. Before I do anything else, at least inside, I gotta drop the subframe, because you have to support
the frame rails of the car and the front half of the chassis, because the firewall, although it doesn't seem like it, the firewall is a vast majority of the structural stability, like to keep the firewall from going like that, or the frame rails from like twisting and stuff. So I have a strut bar that I have to find the bolts for, but I'm gonna reassemble. I'm gonna just bolt it in place here on the strut tower itself, and then I'm keeping my traction bar on. I already have it bolted up. I just kept the front piece, and then I'm gonna drop the subframe, and where the subframe mounts up, I have this steel square rod that I'm going to be welding, just tack welding across, so that way once this firewall does come out, there's no flexing of the chassis, I'm sorry. So that way it doesn't shift on me. I'm gonna take some measurements of different angles and stuff beforehand, so I can try and figure out exactly what's gonna happen once this firewall is out and the new one is in. But yeah, so I'm gonna drop this quick. It's just a couple bolts. The steering rack is already disconnected. Obviously the entire interior is out. The steering column itself is in the shed. So I can straight drop this now. Everything's disconnected. Oh boy, this is heavy. So I've been working on getting all this harness out because pretty much everything else is out of here. I don't know if I necessarily have to do it this way, if this is just extra time that I'm wasting, but I'm disconnecting all the clips from the fuse box because I don't need to take, because I've got the LS model, so I've got the sunroof and stuff, so the harness comes up here in the A-pillar and goes back. So instead of taking everything out, I'm just taking the stuff on the front end out. So yeah, now that I got that unhooked, all this harness is pretty much free to work with here. So just gotta split these two. So I got that connector undone. Now this is all separated, so this big chunk of harness follows along over there. So unfortunately I do have to do basically the opposite of a wire tuck and unravel this harness, pull all the wires through. Fortunately I can't just rip it all out, so I have to do that. But now with this harness that's just sitting here, I can pull the little plastic clips off and I can just hang it out to the side, because the firewall is like here forwards. I don't need to worry about this getting caught up or whatever. So just gonna be working on this for a while. I'm gonna give this a quick vacuum since there's dirt and crap all in here, so I can start chiseling up the sound deadener to then expose all of the spot welds on the bottom here. And then once I chisel up the sound deadener, I'm gonna just sit here for a while with a wire wheel and just clean everything up. Huge thank you to Young Static for kind of showing me the ropes here. Yes, I do have to take the doors off, but I have to pull this panel off. So I did confirm that just this section, not all this. So just get this one off. Obviously windshield out, there's a few up here, a few back here, and then clean up all in here on the seam seal here and down here. So I'm feeling much more confident now. So engine bay obviously is completely ready. I don't know where I last left off on that last clip, so forgive me if I just repeat anything, but interior, I got the harness and everything pulled out. I got the fuse box out, so that's all good. I just am finishing pulling the harness away. As for these exterior harnesses, I was just on the phone with AD, so he told me easiest way to do it is just cut the ends, leave some room to solder, and he will come back and resolder everything for me. If the new clip does not have one that's usable for whatever reason, then we'll fix this harness. So I'm gonna just cut them a few inches back, mark them like whatever, so I know which wires go to what, and pull the rest of this harness through. Then I just gotta do the door harness, and then after that, it's literally just drilling time. So I probably look like a dirty mess right now, but I got pretty much, I think, all the seam sealer off that I need to inside the wheel wells and under the front part of the firewall. I'm gonna give my hand at this spot weld drill bit thing. So I've got this little die. I've got this little thing, and I don't even know what it's called honestly, but you basically just find it on the spot weld and snap it. Center punch, that's what this is. It's a center punch. So I'm gonna center punch all the spot welds. I'm gonna try and find them all really quick, and then I will show you the ones that I have found and the ones that I believe are just the ones that you need, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's do this so that way we can start drilling.
1,000 miles maybe. Okay, we're done now.
All right, so I've got a couple of these spot welds drilled out. Starting to get the hang of this this drill bit, but wow, my face is covered in crap. Looks like I got the freaking little marks that the football people use. Whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Part 1, calling this one a wrap. The teardown. So look out for part 2, probably I don't know, day or so after this one goes up, of trying to do as many of the spot welds as I can. Anyways, guys, do what you love. Forget about the rest. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.